And it's showtime. Hey, folks, welcome aboard. I'm Ilana.
Nisabula. I'm Sean. We
We're
are the Down Under Cruisers.
Where are we today, folks? Language that they use the word bulla.
And use it a lot.
Yeah. Well, in Australia, bulla could be called a cheese. Language that they use the word bulla. So now I'm just repeating myself. There we go. I've just killed that sound easily. I have this habit of repeating myself. I said I have this habit of repeating myself.
We never repeat ourselves.
No, we never. Okay, so Bulla is an ice cream company in Australia, but they use the word Bulla somewhere else.
Not too far away from us.
So while you guys are busy thinking about that one, I'm going to go through the chat and just say hi to a few people. Us and more, you did have to be first, didn't you? Okay, well, Malcolm, welcome on board, Malcolm. Happy to have you on board today.
Malcolm is saying it's quite hot.
Yeah, where's it hot?
Hot compared to your cold. Well, we're 14 degrees. Does that mean you're 15 degrees today? Possibly.
Yeah, must be. Hey, Malcolm hit the nail on the head. It is Fiji, and we are in Fiji, and we've got a couple of things that we're going to be doing today on the menu. One of them is the old, now Malcolm, shut up, you know what it is. One of them is the old Tim Tam Slam.
Hey.
And when we get a few more people coming into the chat, we will certainly be doing the Tim Tam Slam.
Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
We haven't had a sugar fix in a very long time.
Yeah.
We'll be swinging from the chandeliers after that.
Yep, absolutely. So as Malcolm says that it's hot compared to our cold, which means it's like about 14 degrees or so. He made another comment, at least the rain has stopped for now. It will be back tonight. So you guys got a bit of wet. Well, this is what I got from Us and More. Heather. Yeah, it rains here every day during the rainy season, then never during the dry season. Okay, so it's wet season now.
That sounds very much like where we're broadcasting from today.
Yes.
From our backdrop behind us.
Yes, from our backdrop.
Wet season and the dry season. Malcolm, thank you. The big West Island is holding up, just.
Yeah, just.
We are COVID capital at the moment, aren't we, Sean?
We are. Well, nowhere near as much as, nowhere near as much as Florida is apparently right now. So no Music Dreamer, it erased our comment too early. Yep, what a shame. Would have been nice to see Music Dreamer come on board. Good on you, Malcolm. Malcolm will say hi to Music Dreamer. Well, actually, Malcolm, what happened was Music Dreamer came on board like about an hour before we were due to actually broadcast. And obviously YouTube decides that it doesn't want anybody staying in for that length of time, so it kicks them out. We've got Robert White. Welcome aboard, Robert. Welcome back. How are you? Good evening. As the opens of Foster, and we're going to be doing our Fosters. Our caffeine hit.
It's not quite beer o'clock where we are, is it?
No, it's not. And Robert, for you, we're going to be doing the Tim Tam Slam today. So just give you an indication of some of our culture here. Now, folks, I don't know if you noticed, but you may have seen our logo has changed.
Yes, fantastic.
And the reason why it was changed was we asked somebody to do us the honor of creating a logo for us, and that person is Heather from Us and More. So a huge shout out to Heather. She's done an awesome job, and we're really, really happy with it.
Very grateful to a very talented lady.
Yeah, absolutely. She should become an artist. Really, she should.
So we thank Heather, and we're very excited to debut it today.
Absolutely. Malcolm, I'm with you, bud. That stuff is absolutely atrocious. Give me the Mexican beer, the one that should be the unnamed one at the moment. Yes, 30 minutes prior it kicks you out. So she got scrubbed. Sorry. Okay, so Malcolm says looks good too. Thank you very much, Malcolm. We think it looks awesome. Really awesome. So just waiting on a few more to pop into the chat. Hey Rafi, welcome on. Rafi, I'm putting on a bad accent here. I better fix it up. Welcome aboard, buddy. I had a quick look at your chat that you brought up earlier on, your view earlier on. I can't spell that comedy group at all, so I didn't fare really well. Sorry.
You've got your golden
Heather
girl
says,
right here anyway.
Yeah, I do. She's sitting right next to me. The love of my life, I tell you what. Heather says, thank you very much. It was her pleasure. I'm honoured to be able to do it. And we were honoured to have you do it for us. Thank you so much. Okay, so now Malcolm made a comment there, and I can't bring it up for you to see. He goes, where's the Kiwi?
Having a rest.
Actually, if you have a look at the logo, I might try and bring it up if I can find it.
Yes, we have included.
To explain, because we have included you, actually. So, Malcolm, if I were you, I'd crawl back in the cheese.
There is a Kiwi on our logo.
There is.
So we haven't forgotten you.
No, definitely not. It's not there. It's on the other
As we
side.
are Aussie Kiwi inclusive, so we can't forget our Kiwi friends.
Okay, so let me share it with you, and then you guys can see.
Have a really good look at it. It's the magic of technology.
There we go. So there we go, folks. Now, if you have a look really carefully, Malcolm, you will notice that you actually have prominent position on the left-hand side. On top of the boomerang, on top of the sea, as in the Down Under cruises. So we have a didgeridoo, a boomerang, a kiwi, and a kangaroo.
And we've included our Aboriginal flag colours. The red, yellow, and black. And it's looking fantastic.
It is. It's awesome. Absolutely love it. Although I know for a fact that Miss Perfect over there, More, she's never happy unless everything is done 150,000% correct.
And probably wants to change it in some way. A bit of a tweak, I'm sure, probably.
So there we go. Let's welcome some more people into the chat. So before we do that, Vizzo goes, don't worry about it. Glad you could make it to your live. Yes, we're really pleased you're here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Malcolm. There is one on the end of the boomerang. Good on you. Heather says chicken nuggets. Yes, that's what she calls a kiwi, Malcolm. We've really got to fix her. Really. Ilana Cantor, welcome, Ilana. Happy to have you on board today. Philip Brackman, hi, Philip, welcome.
Hello.
So for the Aussies, we're going to be doing a Tim Tam Slam today. Ruffy was going live on his phone at the park, and there were lots of technical issues. Yeah, I know. So the way I don't think the virus is only hitting people. I think it's hitting the internet too. Malcolm, baiting Aussies, such fun. Well, you got to mention you were part of the game. Love to have you on board, everybody.
Just just a little by. Malcolm, have you checked out Russell Crowe's Aussie Kiwi slang little video that is put out, if anyone's interested, regarding our slang about 2 weeks ago? It's on YouTube. just Google Russell Crowe and Aussie Kiwi slang. Gives a little bit of a lesson in a very serious way.
Yeah, in a very serious way.
It's very straight.
Philip likes the Tim Tam slam. How many of you had today? Philip, have you had any? I might be forward there.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what, we can smell them already, and we have not had sugar or biscuits for in about 2 years because we're on a low-carb, no sugar diet. But we're going to take one for the team. This is all in the interests of goodwill.
and cross the ditch and cross the pond, friendship building.
What we do for you guys.
Oh, boy, life's tough at the top. Considering you guys won't have any biltong or boerewors for me.
No.
Malcolm says, haven't seen that, and we'll look it up afterwards. Yeah, it's Russell Crowe, and we were watching it last night before before going to my parents' place, and it really made quite an interesting evening. Welcome on board to Travel and Tour. Welcome.
Sabula.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Stopping by to say hi and drop that thumbs up. Thank you so much,
and
folks.
We'll be returning the favour after.
Absolutely. Guys, Neil and Kimberly, I just wanted to know if you knew what a Tim Tam slam was. Philip says, out of
biscuits and chocolate.
Went to gym for the first time in 3 months. Oh, good on you.
Well, you might be lucky because you may not be able to go after this.
Yeah, the way things are happening in Victoria
that could be your one and only time.
Yeah. What have we gone? We've got 33 cases in one day. Sure, that's a big thing. Two Travel and Tourist says, a what? Yep, you'll see. You'll see. What have we got here? Malcolm says, was just going to say 13 watching with 8 likes. Thank you very much, Malcolm. We're really happy that you're on the ball there. Couple of people saying hi to each other. Okay.
I'm just sorry, just going to make myself warm.
Oh, yes.
Because it is cold here, and I'm imagining that we are travelling to our scene behind us.
In Fiji, because it was, Malcolm mentioned that it was Fiji.
So he did, yes, but there are some people who came in late, so they may not have realised where we are. Somewhere very special for me, in particular, and that place behind.
And we'll talk about that place shortly.
Very close to my heart.
Just want to jump into the chat here for a second. Robert says, don't get me wrong, Foster's absolutely horrible, but it does the trick.
It does.
Best bang for your buck.
Sure does.
Excuse me. Folks, why do you think we exported it to the States? Because Aussies don't like drinking it. That's a bad... I'm sorry, Robert. Please forgive me.
No. Stay nice.
I'm trying. Okay. Ruffy says, just shared us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. And Sean and KC, welcome, guys. Welcome on board. So just for you guys, we're going to say, Sean and KC, we're going to have a Tim Tam slam. So we'll have that shortly.
We need to do it shortly because your coffee is going to get cold. We need a nice warm coffee.
Yeah, do need a nice warm
coffee. For our
coffee.
Tim Tam slam, and that's basically our brunch menu. Well, we couldn't go once we had the Chico roll last week, we can't get it. We just have reached the pinnacle of the culinary world there.
We couldn't have a Nikki Fucky Lolo. Did I say it right?
Oh, dear.
No, I didn't. Okay.
I told you, please don't even try to pronounce it. Because I knew that would come out of your mouth.
Okay.
We'll come to that a bit later on.
All right.
When we talk about the food.
I'll get it right. I can never pronounce it, and I always put my foot in it with both hands. It is the most awesomest dish.
Open up your mouth and take both feet out, please.
All right. Is it time for the Tim Tam slam? Hey, Aussies, have you got yours ready? If you do, well and good.
Well, let's get it over and done with.
Yeah, well, we have to.
Because, we may be...
Well, I'm running out of coffee,
Shall I take one for the team as well? They not a very good look or not?
Can I?
Well, with the sugar, we may be, as I said, swinging from the chandeliers because it's over 2 years since we've had a decent
Tim Tam
sugar
slam.
hit of any
Yeah,
sort.
yeah.
So,
Okay, so Tim Tams. What are
Okay.
Tim Tams?
oh, they are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Tim Tam is a chocolate biscuit.
Oh, there they are.
Okay.
The beautiful Tim Tams.
Now, the idea of the Tim Tam slam
Please
is
have one. I might save mine till later.
take the Tim Tam, and then what you've got to do is bite off a corner on either side, right? And then you've got to drink the coffee through the Tim Tam. So here we go.
Good luck. Good luck.
Okay, good
Good
luck
luck.
it is. Okay,
Want a
here we
bit?
go. No, I've got my
An
cup.
apron.
I've got my coffee
All right, okay.
glass here.
Soviet
I think we need to step back a bit
okay.
here. Okay, so here we
All
go.
right. Good luck, Sean.
Oh my god. Oh my god, the Tim Tam's good.
Hang on. You're going to eat that biscuit before you can do your slam. Okay.
Okay, here goes.
Corner's bitten off
Now I've got to suck the coffee through it.
without dropping the.
I need another Tim Tam.
Dropping them. Oh, any excuse will do. You did that on purpose.
Shut up.
Just have another one.
It's now a mocha latte for you. Okay.
Okay. Sean, you have to suck it up.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, you're dripping.
Oh,
It's not doing a very good job. It is everywhere.
cut it.
Well, was that worth
I
a
can't do it.
was that worth a demonstration?
It was. But now I need a spoon.
You do. Okay. He's going to have have
OMG.
yeah, I know. I think that was one big fail. I think any excuse just to have a Tim Tam, really.
Now I got to wash the floor too.
You do. Maybe you can get the Tim Tam and suck it up on the floor. Sorry. That's
Okay, so let me. Mm.
Yeah, that was today's laugh.
We'll have to go through the chat now. So,
Oh, dear.
Two Traveling to ask, is that a latte or a macchiato? It's actually a latte,
Which is now turned
which
into
is
a
now
mocha.
turned into a mocha.
With all that chocolate in it.
Uh,
I'm the one who has the sugar.
see,
So-
Neil, even I can take the punishment, right?
Mhm.
Even I can handle it. That-
No,
Malcolm,
Raphael.
that
would
was
you like-
not today's laugh. Okay, there's going to be more laughs coming in. And Ruffy, yeah, let's get it to do it. Come on.
Okay, but what are the? Is it the opposite, the diagonal?
Yeah, the
corner?
diagonal. And then you've got to get it into the cup.
I put my whole face in it.
Yep.
No. If Sean does it, I do it.
Yeah, well, you
I
have
have
to.
no shame. It's all right.
Just make sure you suck it out of the pot that you bit off.
You really? Okay. I don't think this is the appropriate.
Go on.
Mm.
She
Mm.
got it. She got it. She did better than me.
Mm.
Better than sex, guys. Better than sex.
It's going really stoggy now,
You better eat it.
but I've gone drop in.
All right, I'm a fail. Sean and Casey say that looks good, the Down Under Cruises. Yeah, it does. Two Traveling Tour says, yes, I agree with Raphael. Ilana should try it too. Well, there she did. And Philip says, take small bites. Yeah, mine were too big, way too big. So,
Pardon me.
what do we got there? Heather goes, yay.
Mm.
And Two Traveling Tour are having a good laugh.
Good.
Yep,
I'm glad that we entertain you
yep.
at our expense.
See, Malcolm, that was much funnier than me, right? Sean and Casey are saying hello to Traveling Tour and Us and More. Some greetings going on there. Vizzo's going, okay. Years.
Oh.
Us and More, hello back. And Ruffy, she is better than me, okay? But Malcolm, you don't drink coffee. You could do it through well, you could do it with tea, I guess.
You could, absolutely. Actually, you know what'd be really nice with a like a Bailey's.
Yeah.
A Bailey's or a Kahlua.
Absolutely.
That would be scrummy in the evening.
Yep. Okay. What have we got here? Sean and Casey say thanks for the entertainment.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Anytime, right? Need to get the atmosphere going.
We're just nothing but a class act for us.
Hot chocolate would work. No.
Oh.
No. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Suck the chocolate. Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah, that would be good. But if you were saying having hot chocolate instead of the Tim Tam Slam, I'd have to disagree. Robert White says, drank a cup of coffee. It would be my first cup ever.
Really?
Really? Oh, well, then I wouldn't I wouldn't do a Tim Tam Slam through a stubby. I mean, through a Foster's. I mean, we know what a stubby is. Stubby is a can of beer, right? But we wouldn't do it through the stubby. We would rather do it through something warm, like so that the chocolate can melt in. So hot chocolate, coffee predominantly, maybe some tea. I don't know. Everybody has their tastes. A couple more. Oh my gods. Living on coffee and so forth. Yep. Heather, we're with you there.
We're with you.
Tell you what. Yeah, I did say can. Heather's busy talking to me in the background there, and she's saying I used a stubby or a can. Yeah, no. Can.
What's a can?
What's a can? It's a stubby. A stubby or a yeah. Malcolm goes, hot chocolate is my go-to hot drink. Tea when I'm at Lawn Bowls Club during play. Awesome. Hey, got a question to ask you, Malcolm. How are you going to make it to the Olympics playing bowls? Because I know that Lawn Bowls is a big Olympics thing these days. True Traveler and Tour says, grew up drinking coffee, don't remember much time without it. Yep. It's one of those things. I have to have my coffee intravenously.
European. It's quite a European thing, I think.
Yeah, I have to have it. I have to have coffee. It intravenously fed. Sean and Casey, what does my T-shirt say? So my T-shirt says "Savu Savu."
Yeah, sorry, you just said that you don't repeat yourself very early on.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? Gotcha.
You're repeating yourself. Savu Savu.
Savu Savu. It's a place in Fiji. And so we're going to take you on a trip today around Fiji.
We're going to the South Pacific, but we're focusing on Fiji because we can. My childhood home, so I thought I'm going to indulge you today.
Ruffy, if I brought out the Baileys, I'd have to carry her upstairs.
Yes, please. No, I mean about Baileys. Sorry. I'm with you there, Raphael.
Malcolm says, haven't had coffee since 1983. Can't stand the smell of it, mate.
Nothing like the smell of coffee in the morning.
Yep. Oh, well. It reminds me of that movie, Good Morning Vietnam, where the guy goes, I love a cup of coffee. No, I love the smell of napalm in the morning, but I wasn't thinking about the napalm. I was thinking about the smell of coffee in the morning. I said more, Malcolm Hogan, before I was even thought of. That must be relating to how long she had coffee in her veins. Malcolm, it's played at Commonwealth Games and I'm not that good. Why not? Why not? It's all between the ears. Two Traveller and Tour says Neil agrees with Ilan. I think that's Neil, if I'm correct. Nothing like the smell of good coffee in the morning.
Yep.
If I'm not correct, Kimberly, I apologise. All right, so what's next on the list, Honey Bunch?
I'll just pull up my tapa cloth.
So tell me about the tapa cloth. What's it all about?
Okay, this is the tapa. It's very huge. made from the bark. It's a very traditional Fijian art and craft, and it can be made for wall hanging. It can be put on the floor. It can be used as a tablecloth. Of course, you'd have to put something over the top, like some plastic or something. It's mainly a wall hanging. This is about the size of a large king-size sheet, flat sheet. It's made from the bark of a tree, usually a mulberry tree, and the hard bark is stripped off, and it's just soft bark, and it's soaked to soften, and then it's dyed or printed in very traditional prints, and often it tells a story. So it reminds me very much of our Aboriginal art, as well, because usually the Indigenous people usually like to tell stories, and so there is a huge tapa cloth. It's a bit smelly because this is about, just trying to think, how old am I now? Blah blah blah, 21 minus. This is about.
Are you talking Fahrenheit or centigrade?
This is about 40, 50 years old. Yes, there's probably moths going to fly out of it in a minute, a bit like the Seinfeld episode with the coat, the fur coat. The moths in it coming out. Okay, so that's a tapa from Fiji. I'm going to have a drum roll on my lali, my drums. Can I beat my lali?
You can beat your lali.
Okay, so that's my lali, the drums. Only an ornamental one, of course, so it doesn't really sound terribly.
They are. They're huge. They're all part of a tree trunk that's been hollowed out, and they're actually quite large.
They're huge. And lovely.
I just need to go back into the chat for a minute.
Fijian men beating it.
Malcolm was talking about playing bowls at the Commonwealth Games, and he then made a comment. That where are we?
Oh, it is Neil, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Oh, good. He then made a comment that he and the judges were not on the same page. He's also having a chat with some more about dinosaurs were around when he was a boy. Malcolm, there are still dinosaurs alive today. You know that. They call them alligators or crocodiles. Two Traveling Tour agrees with you. Nothing like the smell of good coffee in the morning. And yes, it is Neil there. So thank you, Neil. Glad you could join us, and you're going to be in for some good fun today. So Malcolm says, let's say the selectors and he had different ideas of what is required. Oh. Mate, what do the selectors know anyway? Good talent there, right? Some more liking the, what did you call it?
The lali.
The lali, okay. Two Traveling Tour, that's a remarkably high-pitched sound for drums. Yes, it is.
It's way past bedtimes at the moment.
Considering that it is an ornament, the actual sound is actually quite a deep sound that comes out there.
Oh, because it's a tree trunk.
Yeah. Waiting for the Fijian firewood. It's come out. Yeah, we're going to have some of that.
Carver. Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll show you. And frogs. Okay. Oh, yeah, frogs are dinosaurs too. That's true. Ah, good, Rafi. I'm glad you're home safe. Last thing we want you to do is have an accident while looking at us because you're laughing your whatchamacallits out, and we're
don't want to be responsible for that.
No, definitely not. But now he's making a Spanish
omelet. That's often what we have on the weekend. Yum yum.
Couldn't he leave Spain in Spain?
Well, you can take the man out of Spain,
but you can't take the Spaniard out of the man.
That's it.
I'm glad I said. Yeah, okay.
Enjoy your Spanish omelette.
Okay. Yes. What does Malcolm say? Well, Malcolm says an omelette. Yep, an omelette. That's it. Okay, so, Two Traveling Tour, Raphael, I'm coming over and eat your omelette. That's correct. We'll be joining you, a bit far away. Hey, okay, so let's go and do some travel. Where are we headed?
Well, we sailed on the beautiful Sun Princess, wasn't it?
We
Yes,
did.
We sailed on the beautiful Sun Princess, unlike this Fijian canoe, which is a traditional outrigger boat of Fiji called a drua, and it's got the bark. They use the bark a lot for plaiting and weaving mats, and they use that as the sail, and they adjust the sail a bit like a tiller, and they got a removable thing, and it moves the sail around according to the direction of the wind. So that's their mode of travel between islands, the outrigger canoe. So we sailed on the lovely Sun Princess, which looks nothing like the Drua, and off to a tour of the South Pacific. Okay.
Now, while we were in the first port, which was Suva Bay, while we were in there, we happened to be followed by another princess ship. We were on the Sun Princess, and this princess ship followed us into port. This ship is, anybody know? Any ideas?
You just told us.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Did I?
I'm sure you did.
No, I didn't.
Did I? I'm hearing things.
You heard
We had
things.
just pulled up into
We were
Suva,
in the Sun Princess,
and then
this
out
ship
of the
followed
blue
us.
came this little ship right behind us on its around the world cruise.
And all right, I'll let you off the hook. It was the
Love
Pacific Princess, which was the love boat. And that pulled in, and there were a couple of it only has about 650 passengers on board.
We met a couple of them at a stop that we're going to show you. It is a princess. It's the gorgeous. That's on this ship's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I'd love to go on this little ship. It's the Pacific.
The
Yep.
Pacific. And the thing about that was they were doing a world cruise, and they popped in. So they were doing some of our cruise backwards. So they popped into, they pulled in after us and left before us.
Yeah.
Into Suva.
Really a flying visit there, wasn't it?
Well, it's a ship, honey. How can a ship fly?
Okay. Right. Which was it? Due to the distinct sea witch on the front. Yes. We just heard news about Princess in Australia, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were expecting the Majestic and the Sapphire Princess to come and do summer cruising season next year. And Princess have pulled out those two big ships. So not looking too promising. And regarding the Regal, which we're booked on at the end of December the 28th, there was a person who was on it, or was booked on it, to come to bring her out from Southampton, said that they've been told that that's been cancelled, yet we've not been informed of that.
No.
So, which is interesting.
Actually, I was on the Us and More chat, which was a little bit earlier on today, and the consensus there was that, sad to say, but we tend to think that being on a cruise ship this side of 2021 is most likely not going to happen. So that's just the consensus. But let's make things light and get back to being happy, because not cruising makes me feel rather constricted or constrained.
We just have to listen to my sleep app, don't we? With the ocean waves, we imagine.
Your sleep app and my sleep app, Mia.
Yeah.
We have something in common, that we both have a sleep app. I've got a Nia, and no,
I've just got the sleep app.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we in the chat? Ruffy's busy saying to everybody, haha, Malcolm, come on. And Malcolm's reply is that, Ruffy says, Malcolm would love you to join my live stream sometime on Tuesdays at 5:55 Central Standard Time, which in Kiwi time is about 2 hours ahead of us. So that's a pretty early morning. Tour Travel and Tour says, please remember to hit the thumbs up, everyone. Yes, thank you very much, Neil. Please, guys, we're only sitting on 15 people or something like that, 13 watching, and I want the likes to be bigger than the numbers. That'd be nice. Ruffy, we're ahead of the time there, mate. Would have guessed Princess 2 due to the front. Yep. Okay, Robert says, remember watching The Love Boat and cruising was nothing but a dream. Yeah, it was. But now it's a reality, and now it's going to be a dream again, I reckon, at least until the end of the year. But
Yes,
that's okay.
Yeah,
So,
we can only dream right
all
now.
right.
All right, so let's.
So this is,
We're in Suva,
we're in Suva. Okay, so let me just get the first things
capital
first.
of Fiji. While you're doing that, Fiji is made up of about 300 plus islands. Two main islands of Fiji is Viti Levu, the big island, and a secondary island called Vanua Levu. Viti Levu is where Suva, the capital, is, and Nandi, second major city, and it's usually where tourists go. However, it is actually even more beautiful when you do go to the outer island groups like the Yasawas, the Lau Island group. You can take little tours. Can I just say, regarding one of those tours, that many, many years ago when we were living there, my parents went on a trip to one of the outer islands, and my mum was fishing off the side of the boat, and do you know what she caught? A shark.
Your mum caught a shark.
She did. Pretty amazing. Anyway, so we arrived in Suva on the island of Viti Levu, and it was mainly a nostalgic trip for me, visiting, showing Sean, because I had been before, showing Sean all my childhood places, the house that we lived in, the school that my brother and I went to.
Don't know the school.
No, but I'm just explaining that what the places that we did see, and went for a bit of a tour up and around.
But what we do have is that.
Okay, yep. So where we are behind us is called Suva Point in Lathala Bay, and that is right on the corner of Beach Road, and Beach Road was the house or the street that we lived in. So our house was a bit further down. We do have a photo of us standing outside it, but we didn't decide to show you that. I don't want to bombard you with too many things, but anyway, so that was the beautiful beach that we would get out of bed in the morning at about 6 o'clock, cross the road and go to that beach almost every morning, 365 days a year before school and before our piano lessons. We'd go and have a swim.
And there's Suva Harbour.
There's up at the mountains in a very posh suburb called Tamavua, which is where all the embassies are. There's beautiful homes there overlooking the harbour and the city. And you can see the Sun Princess there and the little Pacific Princess just parked behind. We did go, it was hurricane season. Like, we were very lucky that we didn't have hurricanes, but it was the wet season. So it was a bit drizzly and miserable, but it was humid, about 90-something%. It was just...
Heather was saying that it is so pretty, and yes, it is. It's the South Pacific, Australia included, is God's own country, let me say. Sean and KC, Sean, you didn't seem shocked that your mother-in-law caught a shark. No, because we breed them tough here in Australia, KC.
And this was well before this Sean arrived on the scene, when I was only very young. So it was many years ago. And Sean's not actually met my mum. My mum's passed away now, so...
I wish I would have. All right. Next stop.
So we're still in Suva. Let's go to the Grand Pacific, where we met our two passengers from Pacific Princess. There it is, on the right.
There we go.
Now, a sign of colonial times, because Fiji is part of the British Commonwealth and was colonised by the Brits, and the missionaries came, and the Fijians are actually very spiritual. Sunday is very sacred to them, and they'd go to church, and the singing when you walk past the churches on a Sunday is just magnificent. The harmonies are just beautiful. So it's a very famous place. It's a bit similar to, you would equate it to Raffles in Singapore, the Grand Pacific Hotel. It has been restored. It was very beautiful in its day when we lived there. It fell into sort of ill repair and was abandoned for many years. And I was pleased to say that when we went back It's been restored back to its glory.
Absolutely beautiful
beautiful
hotel.
inside.
The view is just stunning.
Yeah.
Heather a bit worried about the sharks there. She would have thrown the pole into the water. And I can't say I blame you. Unless it was a gummy shark, one that's got no teeth.
I don't think it was a white pointer. I can't imagine that. But
No.
There's a photo actually somewhere in our archives.
In the archives. Okay. All right. So we've gone to the Grand Plaza, or the Grand Pacific, I should say. There was something there that we wanted to show, and that was just the Parliament.
Oh yes, the old Parliament. And we also did a trip down another street that we used to live in when we first arrived. We moved into an apartment block. And since we'd left, Nurse Nancy, welcome.
Hi, Nurse Nancy. Nurse Nancy, you just missed the most amazing thing. We had a Tim Tam Slam, which you missed. That was awesome. I stuffed it up, and Ilana got it right, as usual. These women, I don't know. And also, we are in Fiji at the moment.
Nisabula, welcome to everyone if you've just tuned in. Sean and Casey have asked, what year did we visit? We were there in 2018 in January. It was early January.
Early January. Yep.
And the best time to visit is probably after about May, because the hurricane season finishes in about sort of May. And so you're probably better off going in the sort of May till about, September, possibly October. But really, any time is a great time to go to Fiji.
And that was Lawrence Lindquist. Welcome on board, Lawrence. We didn't hear from you earlier, so I'm assuming this is your first time in. So welcome aboard on our travels. Before that, we've got Niels goeie aand, as we would say in Afrikaans. Goedenavond, Nancy, Dutch for good evening.
I might just have to take another one for the team and maybe demonstrate another demonstration.
We don't have enough coffee.
I might be able to manage it. Fiji is wonderful, Nancy. Really beautiful. Anyway, that is the old, not the old. That is the house, that is Parliament House that has now been abandoned. Fiji had a couple of coups, military coups in about, if I'm not mistaken, about the 90s. And since then, to be honest, Suva in particular has gone a little bit downhill. Still very beautiful when you go out of Suva.
Sean and Casey are asking me about the locals, and I just wanted to bring up one particular photo, if I've got it here. There we go. The best way to travel is to meet this guy, Bruce. Yeah. Because he is typical of the Fijians. The Fijians are the most beautiful people, not only in physical but internal spirit. They are just the most incredible people. We had Bruce take us around Suva. When we sailed into Suva, we asked him to take us around for the day, and he did. He took us around, showed us where we went to Ilana's house where she lived. Then we went to Ilana and Gideon, Ilana's brother's school. We went into other areas, around to some of the places where the natives would be living in their villages and enjoying some kava. We'll show you some slides about that a little later on. But if ever you want to travel around Fiji, this is the man to see. An awesome guy and a lot of time. And he'll do the sneakies with you as well, as in, beat the general tourist rush and all that sort of stuff. So locals are absolutely incredible.
So friendly.
Yeah.
Everything bula, bula, bula.
Malcolm has highlighted us
Malcolm.
with some info to say that they've been cruising Fiji in 1987, 2000, and 2008.
Right, yep.
So that's correct.
So since then, that beautiful building, designed in the shape of a traditional Fijian house, which is called a bure, B-U-R-E, a bure, has now been abandoned. Unfortunately, it's a beautiful building. So,
all right. So, what else have we got?
And let's go to the village, and we'll have some drinks and kava.
Why not?
Yangona.
Well, let's just for Malcolm. We've got the firewalkers there.
Oh, the fire dancer. Yeah.
Dancer.
We
Okay.
didn't see the firewalkers, but
No, because it was raining.
no, I would have put out the fire. And we went to a village. Yes, Bruce took us as a bit of a sight. We weren't expecting it, but he took us to a village, and we joined in. Well, I did. Joined in some dancing. Sean
Yep.
watched, but he probably had a little bit too much kava.
Look who we have here. Papa Moso, welcome on board, Papa.
Nisabula.
Nisabula, yes, you just missed a Tim Tam Slam. Just missed it by about an hour. I mean, half an hour. I mean, 15 minutes. So welcome on board. How's Mama, by the way? Yes, so firewalkers. And then, of course, this is the thing that everybody does in Fiji. When you go and you visit, you go into the village and then you sit down and you have one of these. The kava.
Which is a welcoming ceremony. Special guests are welcomed with the kava ceremony. Now, kava is like drinking. How would you describe it?
Dirty water that I've washed my clothes in.
Yes. Your socks and your undies.
Yep.
And your socks and jocks in the water. Yeah. It's from the Yangona. It's called Yangona in Fijian. It's mixed with, it's the root of the Yangona plant, and it's put through like a T-shirt or a bit of muslin with water, and it's just made into a watery brown sort of sludge, because it's actually
No,
not
it's
a lot
liquidy.
thick, but it's very liquidy. K-A-V-A, kava, or Yangona, with a Y-A-Q-O-N-A, Yangona. Q in Fijian is pronounced NG, the sort of soft G. Yangona.
Not quite like drinking petrol.
And put into what's called a tanoa, which is the big round bowl. You sit there, it's presented to you, you say bula in, you drink it from a half coconut shell, you clap your hands after you've drunk it. The rest of the people clap their hands 3 times, one, mala mala, sort of like acknowledging that you've done well.
And it's their way of actually introducing you to the tribe and helping you join into the tribe. So that's...
And what effect does it have on people, Sean? Drinking kava.
Well, they say that it is like, it's like a drug, but it wasn't that bad for me.
No, first time actually is not, it's a sort of afterwards. Once you've drunk it a couple more times, it does numb the tongue and the lips a little bit.
Yep. Papa Maza, Mummy's with you and doing well. That's
wonderful.
Awesome to hear.
Fabulous.
Awesome to hear. I hope you're very well, to be honest. Been a bit concerned about you, Papa. Nancy's having a birthday celebration in the house on Sunday. It's Anthony whose birthday it is. So happy birthday to Anthony. Tell him we're upset he's not joining us on the live, but that's okay.
Tour Travelling Tour are relieving us at the moment. They've got their
Tour Travelling Tour, good on you. We'll be bothering you at your live stream shortly.
We
so,
will.
Excellent. And Nancy's mum
is having a birthday
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so happy birthday, Nancy's mum.
It's busy at your place, Nancy.
Yeah,
it's
really busy. Are you catering, Nancy? Oh no, if you were here, you couldn't have more than 10 people in your house, so it would be a small gathering. So that should be manageable.
Well, hopefully you're in the position where you can all be together. Yes. Lips go numb, yes, and your tongue might go a little bit numb too.
Yeah, and you're full of, well, I don't know what you've been sitting on, Malcolm, but I was sitting on the floor.
Yes, it was getting up that was the problem.
Yeah, that's right. Nautical Nurse Nancy, that sounds like an amazing experience, such a great cultural time. It was fantastic.
And then, Sean, you had the honour of
I had to go with
summoning
people to
lunch, because
lunch.
they put on a beautiful spread.
Yeah.
With a lot of fish, and everything's soaked in coconut milk. Beautiful. And roro, which is a leaf. So there's Sean blowing the conch shell. And
it's
not a bad job of it.
Well, I got a sound at least. So that was good.
Nancy and I didn't taste the kava because I've had plenty of opportunities in the past when we lived in Fiji to drink the kava. This was Sean's first time. So he had the honour of doing that. I had danced, and it was so hot that I sort of just probably collapsed without drinking the kava.
Papa, it's spelled Kava, kava, and it's a drink
made from a plant.
Made from a plant which has got some interesting properties.
Mm. Can put you into a bit of a drug-induced haze.
Didn't want to say that.
Well, that's what it is.
Okay, right. So now, next place. So
we went to Lautoka, which is around the other side of the island, heading towards Nandi, which is the second largest city. And we did get to Nandi just briefly, but we went to Lautoka, and they've got a beautiful. Now, if you're sort of my age and above, you would know who Raymond Burr is. Perry Mason, Ironside actor. He actually lived in Fiji as well for many, many years, and had a beautiful property there, and at the Garden of the Sleeping Giant. We'll show you the Sleeping Giant in a minute, or why it's called that. So we went to, this is Raymond Burr's garden, and beautiful plants, tropical local plants, and there they have the tree huggers.
Yep. I didn't want to hug the tree, but they've got tree huggers there. Folks, while we're going through this, it would be great if you could just do #creator on. Those of you that are creators, that helps us get in touch with people who are creators, and we can push their chats, just like To Travel and Tour, who are creators in their own right and are doing their show shortly. So other creators, it would be great to have you on board. There we go. There's the Sleeping Giant.
Now, if you're to look at that, you have to imagine there's a giant lying down, and you can see his head and his profile down to his knees, and then the ends of his feet. So it's called the Garden of the Sleeping Giant. I'm glad to see that there are people who know who Raymond Burr is.
Nautical Nurse Nancy, we watch Perry Mason every weeknight before we go to sleep.
We used to watch.
Love the artistic black and white show.
Ironside, indeed.
Yes, absolutely.
Ironside. Well, that's
right.
That's Ironside's property, his garden that we visited. And so that's in Lautoka.
Us and more have said they are creators, and we just got off their live show a few minutes ago. Don't see what.
The Sleeping Giant. It's a bit hard to see. We're a little bit far away, but if you were actually there and a little bit closer, you can actually, it's a bit like looking at those 3D pictures. You know, you look at them and then you move the picture away. You either see it or you don't. If you're told enough, that's what you see, then that you actually
that's what you
believe
see.
What you say. Oh, yes. Okay, so Lautoka, we drove into Nandi, Denarau. We had stopped and had lunch at Port Denarau. We went to the mud pools. Of course we did. We went to the mud pools. Look at the glorious gardens. Look, just everywhere. That's what Fiji looks like. There are just beautiful palm trees. And now it's all wet. You can see it's been quite hazy and not very cloudy. That's because it was the wet season. We had a bit of a...
Papa Mozo loves Perry Mason. Robert White asks a really good question. Who was the wrestler from Fiji?
Oh,
Anybody know?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But those mud pools were great.
You sort of graduated from one pool to another, and then they had.
And then you come out with a beautiful face looking like
you
mine.
do. You glow, don't you? Yes. So that was a lovely excursion to go on in Lautoka. We drove to Nandi, a little bit of shopping as you do, and then we went back to Lautoka where the ship was. Now we were going to go to Savu Savu, as is written on Sean's T-shirt, and the beautiful Dravuni Island. Yep, unfortunately, weather was against us in terms of tendering in, which was unfortunate. Now, Sean tried to pronounce this dish very early on. This is Ika Vaka Lolo. Lolo is coconut milk. Ika Vaka Lolo. I make this at home. I was particularly inspired when we came back. It is fish. It's a traditional Fijian dish. It is fish. There are fish fillets underneath. Lots of onions. So chop up lots and lots of onion rings and layer them on top of the fish. Cut up tomatoes and put those over the top. You put a few chilies in, and then because we don't have roro, which is the top of one of the yam or the tapioca, which is one of the starch vegetables that they eat a lot in Fiji. I use spinach. You could put kale on, I suppose. Cover it in coconut cream. You do need a starch, a carbohydrate. We use sweet potato, but if you've got yams, that's probably the traditional thing to put in, and you bake it, and it is delicious.
Absolutely delicious. Nurse Nancy is a creator, and some of the things that she puts on are absolutely stunning. I love traveling with Nurse Nancy because I get to all parts of the ship that ordinarily people wouldn't. I also consume large amounts of alcohol without consuming large amounts of alcohol. So I have an absolute fun time with Nurse Nancy on her trips.
It's nice to travel vicariously, isn't it? Sitting in
Robert
there.
seems to think it's Jimmy Snooker.
Okay. I don't know, to be honest.
Malcolm thinks that Mr. Fuji was Hawaiian, which I don't know. But that's Japanese.
Okay.
Fuji, not Fiji.
Yep.
Okay.
So we didn't go to Dravuni and Savu Savu, unfortunately, but we will go on our next trip.
Whenever that is.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, okay. Shall we go snorkeling at Mystery Island?
Okay, we went to Vanuatu, which was once colonized. I can't put my teeth in and my tongue. Colonized by the French for a while. It was originally called the New Hebrides. It's now Vanuatu, gone back to its original name. And the capital of Vanuatu is Port Vila. There are 3 main islands, Tana, Espiritu Santo, and it starts with V, and I've just slipped my mind. I've written it down somewhere. 3 major islands. Efeti, Tana, and Santo. Okay, so we're at a gorgeous, 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 gorgeous place called Mystery Island. Snorkeling, if you love snorkeling and diving, this is the place to go. Stunning.
Interestingly enough, Mystery Island is a mystery. And the reason why it's a mystery is nobody lives on it.
Yeah. Yet there's an airstrip.
Yeah, it has an airstrip. They fly. You go in for if you're coming in with a cruise ship, you'll go in with the cruise, and they'll fly everything they need in for the day, and then they will do whatever happens on the trip while you're there, and then the next thing, out they go, taking everything off.
And because Vanuatu is very well known for its shipwrecks for diving. It's one of the US carriers, because it was center of the war in the Pacific. and US strip. Actually, I think the airstrip was built for the US. During the war.
And it's still functional. They still fly in the odd light aircraft every now and then.
So they tell you when they're there, when you're walking across the island. It's just very walkable. Just look up and look behind you in case there's a plane coming in. Coconut macaroons, nautical Nurse Nancy. Can smell Fiji then. The coconuts, beautiful. Yum. Oh, Daniel Fields has joined us.
Welcome, Daniel. Nice to see you. We've just been traveling Fiji, Vanuatu, and now we're at Isle of Pines or Ile de Pine.
Ile de Pine in New Caledonia, another stunning place.
Robert White says Jimmy Superfly Snuka was the name of the Fijian wrestler.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. And he was born in 1943, died in 2017.
Oh, we should say Vinaka Vaka level. Thank you, Fijian.
I'm glad you said it. I still can't get over
but Ika Vaka Lolo. Thank you.
Ika something or other. But it's nice, tastes nice. Yeah, so Isle of Pines, you can have a look there. You can see the water's absolutely crystal clear. Absolutely beautiful. Interestingly enough, French is quite widely spoken.
Well, it's a French. It is French.
It is still French.
It's a French territory.
Yeah, it is a French territory.
Their currency is
the
Pacific French francs.
And it's actually quite funny to see a group of people that ordinarily you'd imagine would never speak a language like French. And it's very tropical and so forth, being involved in a European type environment. It's actually quite strange.
And what was the first animal we saw when we went into Noumea? Sitting down on the ground was a French bulldog.
French bulldog, yeah, that's right.
It had to be. It was just so gorgeous.
Actually, do I have one? Do I have the picture of the dog?
No, we didn't.
Didn't we? You didn't want it.
It was a very old dog.
Oh, she didn't like it. It was a beautiful dog.
It was an old fella.
I was going to put it on.
Anyway, it was just so appropriate.
He had himself well stretched out.
He did.
Yeah.
It was probably so hot.
All right. Now, let's go back in the chat and see what there is. Yes, Heather says it looks so pretty, and yes, it was. It was absolutely stunning.
Everywhere. Look, just got prettier and prettier. You just thought, as you saw something that was so beautiful, then you went to the next place.
Correct.
And it was like, how could it be even more beautiful?
Correct. Nurse Nancy asks, Daniel says hello to Daniel Fields and asks if he's still with Midlife Crazy Bradley and Kimberly, and we'll be riveted to know what the answer is. No, I didn't mean that in a sarcastic format.
We left Malcolm. We left from Sydney.
And we're back into Sydney.
So we went Sydney, we went to Isle of Pines, and then we went to, I think we went to Mystery Island after that. We sort of went around a bit. Then to Suva, then to Lautoka. We actually did go to Sava Sava, but we couldn't get off because they actually broke the wharf.
Yeah, the wind came up and they broke the wharf.
The first tender.
Yeah.
Oops. And so we did a quick escape, actually. It was
quite
funny.
You could almost hear the captain going, listen, if we get out of here before they find out.
Hide. Dravuni, the same thing as well. Lautoka, and then we went back to our last stop was back in New Caledonia. Yeah, and
the market there was
the
market there was actually beautiful.
And I recommend the hop on hop off bus there if you do intend going.
Definitely,
because it was really worth it. We did the first thing we do on a hop on hop off bus is you do the full tour first.
Yep.
Have a look at what you like, and then. We actually went back to the ship and picked up our snorkeling gear. Well, I did. Sean didn't want to swim, but I made him come with me. And
it was so hard. She pulled me by the hair. Look at it.
No, that's what happened. And we went back because we saw a beach that looked really beautiful. And we went back and
I might have a picture of it.
Tried out some French at the cafe across the road and ordered some pommes de frites, some chips, hot chips. You call them French fries. We call them chips.
Yeah, I think I did. There you go.
Oh, yes. Okay. That was not on Savata. Lemon Bay.
Yeah.
Bay de Citron was where we stopped for a swim.
What? Okay. Nautical nurse. You got to change that, seriously. Tongue twister. Nancy, Fijian does sound lovely, and we'll be ending off, if we can, with a particular piece of music which really gets
quite
Ilana
emotional when I hear it. So might have to make a quick escape.
Nancy's getting some hellos there. Daniel Fields is saying hi to Vizo. Vizo saying hola to Nancy.
Yes.
Yeah, same cruise leaves from Auckland.
Yes. It'd be a lot closer.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you have, Malcolm, do you have specific cruise lines that actually do that trip? Or are they the same ones that come out of Sydney?
The water is glorious.
Yeah, the water is absolutely stunning.
Unless, of course, you're in the middle of a hurricane. It wouldn't be that calm. But
we don't.
Well,
yeah,
we
were lucky.
We experienced quite a number of hurricanes when we were there.
Yeah.
Living there, yes. You had to get out, go under the house and get out your hurricane shutters and put them over your windows and sit it out. We had people the next morning swimming through our garden, stopping at the front door, having a wave and swimming on because of the flooding. Mm.
Yeah, we know Royal has the same itinerary. Thanks, Lawrence. I was curious as to what ships were coming out of Auckland just as a matter of interest. I think Princess,
Probably.
Royal,
Carnival.
P&O, and Carnival all do a similar type cruise.
Yep. Unfortunately, I haven't got enough coffee to do a second Tim Tam Slam, unfortunately.
Well, I tried to do one, but I ended up doing two.
I can give it a try, but I might have to bury my face in the glass. That's the only problem. Now,
I'm doing
this for you guys, and I'm doing this for you, Nancy.
You just wanted to have another Tim
I'm going to
Tam.
have to take my glasses off for this one because
Yeah, you don't have enough.
Have I got it? Oh, I might be able to. I'll have a go. Any excuse for a Tim Tam.
Well,
it's so revolting.
I've still got the remnants of the
revolting.
first one I had in there. Looks
Oh
like
gosh,
chocolate.
look, we've got a family-sized packet to get through too. Oh dear, shame on us.
Oh boy.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Okay, one corner bitten off, and then the opposite, the diagonal corner down the other end.
So Malcolm says those cruise lines sound like the same ones out of Auckland.
Like a straw. Dip it in
Just
coffee.
for you, Nancy.
I'm doing it for you,
Just
Nancy.
for
I'm
you.
having a sugar fix, and we do keto. I'm doing this for you.
So Nancy, you've got to get a hold of some Tim Tams.
It's all on my chin. No, I haven't got enough coffee because you use it like a straw, and my nose is getting stuck inside.
Oh, jeez. Nancy says.
I have no shame, Nancy. I have no shame.
Nancy says she's heard about it. She so appreciates.
So this is what you do, okay? Just pretend it worked before. So you got, yep.
No, it's not iced coffee, Nancy. It is actually.
It is now, but
It is now. Yeah, it's actually. You can do it with either nice hot coffee or tea, or hot chocolate. Now, the reason is you actually want the hot liquid to melt the chocolate, and that's what adds to the flavour.
And you use like a straw.
It's awesome.
That bit's dipped in because it's now all soft and gooey. Oh, it is delicious.
Are you talking about the chocolate?
It's delicious. You're soft and gooey too.
Oh, thank you.
I know. You are.
I thought I was mushy, not just gooey.
Big soft gooey marshmallow you are.
Yeah, okay. So, no, Nancy, they do not make keto Tim Tams. I wish they did.
All I see is a blur at the moment, sorry.
Yeah, Nancy asks, do they make keto Tim Tams? Malcolm's just being plain rude here. Get a room. I'm in a room. I want a cabin, not a room.
time. It's only midday, for goodness sake.
Some people have insulted me and called me a teddy bear, but you know what? Ruffy.
What's going on here?
Ruffy,
what is going
Ruffy,
on?
If I did that, I'd be full of girl germs. And we can't have girl
what
germs.
Is this?
Okay? Nancy going, hashtag gooey mushy, Sean, laugh out loud. At least you weren't going hashtag Hitty Milana.
I'll just wait for that one.
Yeah, okay. Nancy, I like that one. We all need those cruise cabins. Yep, absolutely.
This is revolting. Oh, so revolting.
I can tell. Are you talking about the Tim Tam or me? Jeez. So what's next?
You might have to do make me on the back 5 times.
You all right?
I think we're
Think we're about done.
I think we'll just beat the chocolate dog. We'll beat the lolly and say we're finished our tour. We've arrived back in Sydney.
We've arrived back, and shall we do the traditional?
Okay.
The thing we've been trying to avoid half the day, half the night, half the day. Night for those across the pond. Day for those across the ditch.
Okay. We're bringing our South Pacific cruise to an end, and we're going to finish with the most beautiful song in the whole wide world, which is the glorious Fijian farewell song called Isalei. I get all blubbery every time I hear it. It just hits me every time because it's just happy, 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 happy memories for me. So, yeah.
And hopefully you will be able to get the music coming through. If not, we shall attempt to do what we can. But
Hear the beautiful singing.
This is a Fijian
farewell song. So we say Nisa Mothe, farewell from Fiji, Nisa Mothe, and Vinaka Vakalevu for joining us. Thank you so much.
And we will see you next time.
Isalei. And Vinaka Vakalevu for joining us. Thank you so much.
And we will see you next time.
Isalei.
That's what's coming out. Have a good day. Enjoy your night.